We're welcoming all of you joining us Facebook or through our YouTube channel. Welcome to our midday Mincha meditation. We have just a minute before we start. Okay, so if you haven't already, find a comfortable sitting position. And gently turn attention onto the breath. And as always, when we start again, we take a moment with each out breath to relax, to rest, to release any tension that we might find looking inwardly in any place on the body. Different bodies hold tension in different places. But on the whole, we can say that more or less all of us hold a great deal of stress around the belly area. So I invite you to deeply relax around the belly, to let the belly for a few breaths rise and fall fully and freely. Even if it's a few, I'm going to say, forced breaths, just before we let the body take over again. And now we let go and the body takes over again, while we direct our attention to the face and consciously release the tension on our face. Tension around our jaw, our cheeks, around our eyes too. Sometimes we tend to frown. So let the eyes also rest. And then use the next few out breaths to just mentally let go. There's nothing else to do, nowhere else to go. All we are required to do is to be here and to feel into the aliveness that we are. So give the mind a break. With each out breath, just let go. Let everything be exactly as it is. Just surrender into the moment. Give in. I know those are words that we're not used to hear. But meditation is a little bit counter-current to the societal norms that always tell us to tuck in our belly, always be prepared to be on the defensive, and definitely never tell us to surrender or to give in. Meditation is rebellion against these norms imposed upon us, meaningless, and in fact hurtful. So yes, let yourself give into this moment. Let yourself surrender into now. Remember that you're not in charge, that you don't have to be in control of anything, that you don't have to manage this moment. So just stop, just stop everything. Stop everything. And from that place of deep surrender with each out-breath, I invite you, if you so choose, to take a breath for Shalom. And after the chant, we let the body take back the natural flow, the natural rhythm of its own breath. We don't need to control even the breath. When the body needs to inhale, it will inhale. When it needs to exhale, it will exhale. We put it all on autopilot. And we just sit and observe. Last week, our focus was just on the breath. Each of our meditations that was my theme for last week, to just be with the breath. And we're going to build on that this week. Still being with the breath, the natural breath, the uncontrolled breath. We're going to add a one-word mantra. Mantra that will take us over the next few weeks. But we're going to break it down 1 week at a time. And this week we're going to hold as our mantra every time we exhale. Well, let me say that more precisely. Every time we observe the body breathing out. With that out breath, we are going to hold in our hearts, in our minds, Shema. Listen. That's it. Shema. Listen. Pay attention. Be aware. Shema. And that word calls us to listen, to be aware, to all that arises, the sounds around us coming and going, the noise within us from the thoughts coming and going. Every sensation, here a moment, gone the next, shifting, changing. But also if emotions, desires arise. Shema, we just listen. We listen carefully. We listen attentively. We listen with kavanah, with intentionality. We listen. And that's all we do. We don't interfere with anything. We don't get involved with anything. Not any thought, not any story. We just remain the great listener. Listener for sensations, like the sensations of the breath coming in and out, coming in and going out. Listening for other sensations in the body, but without reacting, without getting involved. Just becoming really quiet. Really quiet. So quiet that we can really hear, that we can really listen for every little, most subtle content arising. Deep, deep listening. Deep, deep awareing. Shema. Shema. Just listen. Even the sound of my voice comes and goes out of the silence, back into the silence. Like everything else. Everything coming out of the ground of being, the silence, and returning into the silence. Shema. listen. And as you do, deeply listen. Perhaps to ask, who? Who is listening? Or what? What is listening? And if a thought arises to answer that question, what is listening to that thought? Who is listening to that thought? However many thoughts would want to answer the question, offering possibilities, who is listening to that thought? As long as the answer comes as a thought, it is not the answer. Who is listening? Shema. 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 we gently transition out of our meditation, and gently let go of our practice for now. Taking a couple of deeper breaths, perhaps, and stretching the body if we feel the need to do so. As always, I want to invite you to continue throughout the day to let that mantra drop in from time to time. Whatever you are doing, see if you can shift from time to time, here and there, awareness into a deeper listening. And if and when you do, also gently ask, who is listening? And see what happens. And for now, we're going to close our meditation together, as always, dedicating our practice to all beings. That all beings, wherever they are in the world, might find greater wholeness, greater harmony, and inner peace. That all might find shalom. Danny, thank you.
Donnie.
Donnie, thank you.
Well, Donnie, thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, Donnie, great to be back. Thank you.
Thank you, Rabbi.
Thank you.
You're welcome, everybody.
Thank you, Rabbi.
Donnie, thank you.
We'll see you all tomorrow.